So first things first, you need to look at the cover art itself. So this was the inspiration. This was the inspo. Gucci out here, the chains. The background was kind of evening like. Overall tone is orange. Yeah, orange and white, but orange. The dominant colors in the cover, orange and white. So this is our version. But the title, this title, I did the title, but I wasn't satisfied, so we switched it up. So this is our final version. Yeah, the chains, the has Gucci at the back over there, the wheels, the car. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you step by step what we did, and yeah, show you the final product of what we did, the final product. So first thing first, I wanted it to be, the environment to be like time of day to be in the evening, so like a sunset. So I got this background, and yeah, all I needed is this sky. So yeah, that was kind of easy to get because the setting was time of day, evening in a city, but we like a city in a far, cityscape in a far. But where Gucci is in the alley, like some random alley. So yeah, this covered it up. As you can see, this covered it up. And I'll try to go as fast as possible. And then another thing, I wanted a billboard. So yeah, we added the billboard over there. For now, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't look like it's making sense, but it will. Trust me. So and then we got this image of a building, of an alley. That's something that looks like some sort of alley. So yeah, this layer. So yeah, and to blend it, one thing you do that I always do is, so I picked this layer to blend the alley to the background, to the sky and the city skyline. If you check closely, I have this layer, but when I switch it off, the whole image is so blue. It's not even warm. So we needed to blend it. So did I get this layer? How did I get it? So I went to this layer, Command J to duplicate it, filter, blur, average blur, set blending mode to overlay. Then I went and dragged it. So yeah, somewhere like here. And then I clicked it. And then I transformed it and expanded it. So yeah, pretty much that's what I did. So yeah, for the skyline, the same thing. The city skyline, it's kind of blue, kind of not blue. It doesn't have it's kind of black, but I needed it to be, if it's dark, if it's black, I needed it to have like that warm touch. So I did the same. Yeah. For the billboard too. Yeah, I did the same for the billboard too. Yeah, look it closely. Without it, yeah. So for every object, these are objects to me. So for every object that I have in this image, in this composition, the workflow is the same. You duplicate that skyline, that orange sunset image, set the blending filter, go to blur, average blur, and set the blending mode to overlay. So pretty much the same for everything that I have here. It's pretty much the same. So I'll just go through everything. Yeah, I'll just go through over the layers quickly, as fast as possible. Yeah, so and then I added some rim lights. So I'll just talk about rim lights over here real quick. So rim lights are like this light that you see at the edge of the building. Like, it's, if you really think about it, it's like some sort of reflection. yeah, of the sun hitting the building with some sort of reflection. So how do you achieve this, bro? People have methods. You can use a graphic tablet, but I can't use a graphic tablet as of now yet. But I copped an action. I copped an action from Noiseworks. I'm pretty sure if you've been doing this graphic design cover art stuff for a minute, you've seen his page or his YouTube. So how do you get that ring light? So I'll go first here to this plus icon. It's my fault. I'll go, yeah, I'll go first to this plus icon. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, I'll go first here. I'll select this and then go to this plus icon, create new layer, set my brush size to like 8 or 7, and make sure this is checked. Pen pressure, set the flow to 100. Set the flow to 100, and then I'll sample any color I have here. So I prefer the orange one. And then I'll go to the pen tool by pressing on the keyboard. I'll press P, but you can find it over here. So what I'll be doing is I'll just be clicking over. Like that. So to revert, to go back, if you've made a bad selection, just press Command Z. So that's what I've been pressing. You can press Shift to revert. So yeah, and then I go and then I click it here, and then I go to my action set. So if you can't see your actions, you just go to View, window, my fault. And then you'll select actions. It will pop out. So yeah, pretty much easy, bro. Pretty much easy. So I'll scroll down to where I had my Noiseworks. Yeah. So I'll go to this stroke brush path, and then I'll play. So voila. So if you see any rim light in the layers that I have, if you see any rim light, bro, that's basically what I've done. Basically, even for Gucci Mane himself, that's basically what I've done. So I don't think I'll go over that again. So yeah, if you also watch my previous videos, in the previous videos I've taken my good ass sweet time to explain whatever I've done. So yeah, this is just like, you need to watch the other videos, bro. So like, yeah, but pretty much that's what rim lights, that's my method for rim lights. So the action, you'll have to buy it. It's like $5. So you have to buy it. So yeah. And then another thing, so over here I darkened the ground. So why did I darken the ground here? So what did I use to darken the ground? So I used a soft brush, simple soft brush. Set the flow to like 15. And I'll press D to reset this palette to the default. So yeah, soft round is selected, and then I'll enlarge it. Yeah, and then you can just brush over that. So that's what I did. So why did I darken that part? Because later on you'll see Gucci will be standing over there, and a stripper will also be over there. So like, in real sense, if you really think about it, light is coming from this source. So if they're standing over here, they're obstructing the light from getting to this region. So their shadows will be displayed over there. So pretty much makes sense if you think about it. So I added an Audi. So I just added it like that. And also I had dream lights for it. And also to make sure, I'm assuming light is coming from this point. So of course some of it will hit the Audi. That's why you're seeing this yellow ass region, this region. So how did I get this layer? So I just created a solid color layer and selected the color tool. anything. You can select to orange. I don't know why my Photoshop is tweaking. It has been tweaking for a moment. Let me create another. Yeah. So you can just select it to anything. Let me delete this layer. So you can just select it to anything, and then the blending mode, you set it to linear dodge, and then you clip it. And then I'll remove this mask. So I'll delete it, and then I can drag. So I already did this. So I had masked the whole color fill layer. So this is what I had. This is my mask. So to copy this mask to this layer, I'll just hold Alt and drag it. Yeah, and voila, something like that. And then another thing is I applied blend if to that layer. So yeah, blend if, yeah, there it is. So and then I added levels. So I'm assuming this region, remember the light is coming from this side. Remember the light is coming from this side. So the region where the light won't hit, it's over here. So I created a levels layer. Oh, firstly, of course, we blended the Audi to the whole scene with the average blur layer. So before, after, it looks kind of warmer. It's more warmer. So that's my method. That's the workflow basically. And then I added a curves layer to properly define. Oh wait, the main reason I added this curves layer was to actually darken the whole curve. So, but I usually add a curves layer in a S shape to define my highlights, my midtones, and my shadows. But this time around, I just dragged the highlights, midtones, and shadows kind of below this line, this slope, to have it look way darker, because yeah, the car is kind of far away from the light source, so it will be darker, of course. And then for the levels, since this region won't be having light, this region, the one that I'm painting over, if you see it correctly, yeah, that's a levels layer, bro. The settings are the same, 0.47255. I've been saying this for like all of my videos, bro, so I feel like I'm just repeating myself all over again. But yeah, the main essence of this layer was to darken this region. So yeah, I added Gucci over there, but I did not even need to add shadows at the wheels of this Audi, because you know, with this type of covers, it will be eventually be something, another layer will be on top of it, so you won't see the small details. So don't go to the comments and say, yo bro, you did not even add shadows like at the bottom of the wheels for more depth. You did not even add shadows at Gucci's feet for more depth. It's because something else will cover him. Let me show you real quick. So yeah, for Gucci, the same rim lights. Here they are. Here they are. Rim lights. You can see them. And then a little bit of light. This is not rim light, but this is a little bit of light that is hitting from the sun. So that is hitting from the sun to his body. So yeah. You see it. So it is before and after. So what I'll tell you about this kind of light, it's just a solid color, masked it, invert, and then started brushing over it. So for the skin, if his shirt wasn't white, let's say it was dark, you'd see the light of his body way clearer. But for his skin, you can see it clearly because his skin is black. So yeah. So for his skin, the blending mode is soft light. But do not forget, for this, the same won't apply to the clothes or any object. As a matter of fact, for the Audi, same thing. It has the same kind of light. The same kind of light, just below the rim light. So for any objects, clothing, the blending mode will be linear dodge. Do not forget that. Please do not forget that. Do not. So yeah, added rim lights. These are just adjustments. These are just adjustments to darken his shoes and where you won't be seen. So yeah. So to accentuate the highlights on his skin, I use a level layer at 210 on 6. So here it is before, after. To expose, to bring the more shadow, to make the shadows more strong, I use a level layer still 0.47255. So this is kind of a bootleg dodge and burn, if you know what I mean. If you've seen the other videos, you know this is something that I do. So yeah, and I was done with Gucci. For the stripper, I did the same thing. For the stripper, I did the same thing. I won't be zooming in so much, but yeah, bro, you can tell, like, this looks like I'm on some Guna shit, but yeah. So the light was hitting at her back and hair. So let me show you a perfect example. So if you peep it, I do not know why I used linear dodge for her skin, but I was not supposed to do that. It was supposed to be soft light. So for anything that is not her skin, so in this case the hair, it's linear dodge, but for the skin it's supposed to be soft light. So let's see how it will look. Yeah, soft light looks way better on her skin. So yeah, but we just use linear dodge here because that's what initially I went with. So yeah, you can see the rim lights too. Rim lights do really make a difference. So you can really tell like light is trying to hit over here, but my dumb ass did not think about it. If Gucci's legs over here were really dark, why should light be hitting this source and they're in the same place? So I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but yeah, you get the gist. Rim lights are really a lifesaver for me. And then I added the tires, car tires, box, and then dollars. So for the dollar, I converted it to a smart object and added motion blur. So if you want to apply the same stuff, you just go to filter, you convert it first to a smart object to make it non-destructive. What do I mean by non-destructive? I mean you'll be able to go back to previous changes, because if it's not a smart object, you won't be able to modify anything in that layer, so it won't be non-destructive. So yeah, it will be destructive, that's what I mean, if it's not a smart object. So I just applied motion blur to it. So filter, blur, motion blur, and you can pretty much adjust the direction of the blur with this small thingy. I don't know what the name is, but yeah, pretty much that's what I did. So yeah, and I applied my blend to it, the layer. So before it looks bluish greenish, but we need it to look way warm. So yeah. And then another thing is I added fog. So over here you can use soft brush or smoke brushes, but I prefer smoke brushes. So you can just copy any form of smoke brush. I don't know if my brushes got lost, so, or any fog brush. So my brushes kind of got lost, so I don't think I still have the brush, but let me just show you. So you see what the fog brushes does. It almost gives you the same effect. So but my brushes were in orange color, so yeah, you can just randomly select any color over here. So how am I selecting this? I'm pressing I, the eyedropper, and then I'm just dragging it to where I want, where to what color I'm seeing fit. So like that, and then pressing B for the brush, and I'm brushing over it. So something like that, something like that. So that's what I did basically for these two layers. Added Gucci, the main Gucci layer. So I'm 20 minutes in. I'm supposed to be done at 30. Please let me get done so fast. So rim lights, as always, dodge on to enhance his skin a little bit. For the clothes, yeah, I was tripping over this. So this is for the skin actually. This layer is for the skin. Why is it for the skin? Because the blending mode is in soft light, and if I switch it off, you can see, yeah. So for the clothes, yeah, only this side. Yeah, this is highlight, another highlight for the skin, because light is coming from this side. I expect it to hit on his cheek, right cheek from our perspective. So yeah, blending mode set at soft light, color fill, yeah, mask inverted. So yeah, and for his chain, let me see if I can open it up. There are some chains we added. Yeah, so these chains are not there. These two. So it's just a matter of finding the chain, applying perspective. So you can go to edit, transform perspective. Yeah, it's just a matter of that, and then now you just mask it, because without the mask, you see how it looks like. It looks so mid, but if you add a mask, the mask hides, the mask conceals, so it looks like it's actually on his neck. Yeah, so that's what I did. And then we added a crate of cups and money. Yeah, just the same workflow. The workflow is the same for pretty much everything. You blend it with the average blur thingy. You add the curves, layer, levels to blend everything. Pretty much the same. So that's why I won't be going through everything. I'll just be doing a speed run. So if you wanna see my in-depth breakdowns on my previous videos I've been making, yeah. So then I added dream lights for the baking soda in the oven. Baking soda and yeah, the barrel. My fault, the barrel. So yeah, that's the dream light. And then another thing, bullet holes. And then I applied blend if to the bullet holes. So yeah, so how do you apply blend if? So the slider is over here. I need it to look like it's actually on the metal, so I'll just hold Alt on my keyboard and then drag this, and then I'll just drag these two, so it's looking kind of realistic. Yeah. Then I added more money, motion blur applied to them, of course. And then fence, I added a fence. Then more money, fog again, and then I added a sun overlay, so yeah, to make it look way real. And then the blending mode is set to screen. So the overlay One other thing that I like to do to lens flares. So this is a lens flare, of course, is add Gaussian blur so that they look more realistic. So yeah, if you peep here closely, if I switch off the Gaussian blur, you see how the rays look like. Yeah, we don't need them looking like that. So if I switch it on fixed, then I added another overlay for the sun. Yeah, and everything is coming in full circle. Everything is coming together. So everything is coming together. So yeah. And then I duplicated this background again, applied, so our is blur. And then I dragged the layer over everything. So to get that, so it's some form of color grading. Yeah, and that was my part. So I'll show you what 49 made. So I just sent it to him like that, and I told him, go crazy, bro, go crazy, add some sauce. So yeah, pretty much. So now, yeah, this is 49's work. So this is what he sent back. So he actually improved this. He really improved it. I really fuck with what he did, bro. He added the chain at the end. So the chain and the lens flare go so hard. They go so hard, overly hard. Yeah. So we later on decided on adding the 1017 Brick Squad logo. Yeah. 1017 Brick Squad logo. Yeah, we added it. So if you look at it closely, it looks like it blended so perfectly, bro. Like, this is my goat, bro. This is my goat. That's why we're doing collabs with this dude, bro. Like, he's so goated, bro. You really need to tap in with him. I need to bring him to the tutorials next time. Like, he must say something, bro. He must say something. So yeah, so my PC is lagging. Wow. So this is what he added, the bag. He added more fog, like he added some smoke brushes. Fog, yeah. A Gucci Louis V bag. He actually accentuated, so this region of the barrel where it was kind of light, he accentuated it. So yeah, and pretty much that's what we did. So for the 1017 Brick Squad, 1017 Brick Squad. Oh yeah, you are not supposed to see that. So I do not know why, like, there were these artifacts. So I think my Photoshop bugged out. Yeah, and the main reason there were these artifacts was because of, I think, my layers had an issue, like my money layer, my dollars layer. So there was a reason there were these artifacts. That's all I know. So yeah, so I sent it back to him to remove the artifacts, and he fixed it. So yeah, so what I'll show you is, I really assume the artifacts, assume them. So what I want to show you is the billboard. So we applied perspective wrap to the billboard. So if you check at this region, you'll see Smart Filters perspective wrap, and then to make sure it blends with the billboard, like it looks like it's on the billboard for real, we used blend if. So if I drag everything back to where it was, you see how it looks like. Nah, doesn't even look realistic. So I'll just press Command Z, and yeah, that's what you get. So I sent this back to him to to remove the artifact. So and he did. So when he did, he sent it back again, and then I just compressed everything to have this. So this is after post processing. So for post processing, I used camera raw filter and photo looks MBL. So I'll switch them off. You see how they look, how it looks. So the difference is kind of not there really, but it's still there. So with this type of covers, you'll notice I like using diffusion glue, some sort of glue. So let me just show you. Yeah, so I like adding some glue to them, to the layer, like to the photo. So I'll just show you. I'll just open the plugin up. I'll open it up and then I'll show you what I mean by diffusion. So this is the plugin. So I had curves over here. These are the settings. This is what I did. So for the diffusion, this is my favorite part, like my most important part. So yeah, if I switch it on, you see how everything white, every highlight is glowing in some sort of way. Every highlight is glowing. So yeah, that's what I did. And then chromatic aberration, I added it. So chromatic aberration, you'll see it in the final picture if I really zoom in. And then I also color graded it with Colorista 3-way. My shadows to be blue, midtone, green, highlights orange. So yeah, if I switch them off, you see how it looks kind of purple-ish. But if I switch it on, yeah, kind of warm. I was done with that. I was done with that. Let's wait for it. Yeah, and then for the camera raw, did I really add something really that is like you can see a change? Let's find out. So now you can see everything like really makes sense. At first, nothing was making sense, especially for the car, her legs and Gucci. It wasn't making sense. So let's open up the camera raw. My God. Did I really add anything? So for camera raw, if you want to know you made an adjustment, you just look at the eyes over here. So if an eye is highlighted, you did make a difference. So yeah, I sharpened the image with these settings, that's all. So for chromatic aberration, let us zoom in closely. I don't know how to explain what chromatic aberration is, but all I know is it splits your edges, the edges of your like photo into red, green, and blue. Like, how do I put it? I'll show you a photo of chromatic aberration over here so that you can see the difference. So yeah. and it really looks cool. The effect really looks cool. So over here it was there, but it was very, very subtle. I don't know even if it's visible with the human eye. I'm human, but I don't know if it's visible. Here it is. So you can see the red, reddish, green. So I think I did not play with the blue. I did not play with the blue. Did not play with the blue. And pretty much that's it. So I added this song title, but I was not content with it, so that's why I sent it back. I sent the PSD back to 49. So yeah, I was not content with it. That shit was ass, bro. So because we needed it to look like something like this. Yeah, so I had to send it back. So, and then scribbles for the song title, and then which means the text, 49's logo over here at the bottom, 49's logo, my logo, parental advisory will never miss, Ladder Boys logo, and then noise. So noise is, as always, if you want to make noise, a noise layer, you create a new layer by pressing here, then shift backspace, 50% gray, and then you go to filter, camera raw, and add grain to it. You just go to detail, I think, or effect. No, effect. Add it to any level you like. I prefer 81, and set the blending mode to overlay, and opacity to 48. But it all depends on preference. Sometimes the grain is a bit too much, so it all depends on preference. If I zoom in and some, what's going on, bro? Yeah, so if I zoom in and switch off the noise, you see how it's looking. If I switch on the noise, yeah, way cleaner, more texture, some sort of texture. So yeah. So the key takeaway with this type of covers, mixtape covers, first things first, for me, to get my highlights and shadows right, I use levels, a levels layer. So for the highlights, the levels layer will be at 2.10116. For the shadows, it will be at 0.47255. Do not forget that. Always. For me, that's for me. I never forget that. I actually apply it in every type of cover art that I have, that I use, that needs you to match backgrounds and environments to look more realistic. If you have your subject, let's say Gucci Mane, and he's standing somewhere, and light is reflecting off of his body, let's say like this white light reflecting off my body, what you need to do, the color that you'll brush over, whether be it white, blue, whatever color you'll brush over the body, the Gucci Mane's body, do not forget the blending modes. So if you're brushing over his clothes, the blending mode should be linear dodge. If you're brushing over his skin, the blending mode is soft light, of course. So the hair, linear dodge. So anything that's not the skin, linear dodge. This applies to objects, mountains, anything. Yeah, the only exception is human skin. Maybe animal skin, maybe. Yeah, and that's it for the video. That's the key takeaways that I don't always forget when I'm doing these covers. Oh, and also for me to blend an object that is from a different, like I just imported it into Photoshop. For me to blend, I'll use the first layer that I got for the back, like it's like the background layer. So you already know what I'm gonna say. So it will be filter, blur, average, and then you clip that to the object to the layer that you've already imported, if you get what I mean. If you've been watching my videos, you already know what I'm saying. This is not new. The best way I can talk about this is by you watching the video. If I speak, it won't really make sense. So thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for the support, to everybody supporting me. Thank you. I appreciate you. Peace.